Hi, everybody. Captain Lou here with another Extravagant Few Minutes live here on the Captain Lou Sports Network on YouTube and, of course, on our Facebook page, which is the Captain Lou Extravaganza, and on X at The Real Captain Lou. Hey, we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You get all of our great programming, all of our Extravagant Few Minutes episodes live and archived, the Extravaganza live and archived with yours truly and my tag team partner, Mitch Bernstein. We've got another live episode this Wednesday night at 7, and it's going to be a good one. Can't wait to get Mitch's take on his Eagles going for 2, down 9 with 3 minutes left to go in the game. We'll talk about that a little bit later in this episode as well. And also, we've got our ACHA Power Play podcast. Season 10 is in the works right now. We're going strong with that. The Road to St. Louis 2026. You get all those and more by subscribing to our YouTube channel, which is the Captain Lou Sports Network. Speaking of that, all of our Extravagant Few Minutes episodes and everything on the network is brought to you by our official secondary market. That is SeatGeek. Use the promo code Captain Lou and you get $20 off of your purchase. There's a game you want to go to. Hey, there's still time to get to Ann Arbor for the game, Michigan and Ohio State, or tonight at Ford Field, Michigan State and Maryland. Any pro games you want to go to this weekend, or maybe Thursday night's big epic, what's turning out to be such an important game, the Lions and the Cowboys on Prime. Go to SeatGeek, use the promo code Captain Lou, and you get $20 off of your purchase. All right, happy Saturday, everybody. I know it's a tough one for Lions fans here in the state of Michigan, but it's now time to turn your attention to the game, the best rivalry in all of college football, Michigan and Ohio State. They're going to lock horns at noon at Ann Arbor. It's on Fox. It's going to be a big one. Ohio State losing 4 straight to Michigan. Is there a chance, really, that Michigan could win this one this afternoon? Obviously, there's a chance, but do you really think Ohio State's going to lose 5 in a row to Michigan? Oh, my gosh. Wouldn't that be something? As a Michigan fan, obviously, we're hoping for it. I just don't see it. I just think Ohio State's going to come in, and if Ryan Day is any kind of a motivational coach, he's going to have them so fired up for this one. If he learns from his mistakes from last year, from that game plan, as a Michigan fan, I'm worried. I really am. I've got 0 expectations coming into this one. I would love to see Michigan win, but I just don't see it. Michigan a 10-point underdog with good reason. I think the weather's going to hold off. The snowstorm, I don't think, is really going to be a factor in this one. I don't think it's going to start snowing in Ann Arbor till probably after 2 or maybe 3 o'clock. Oh, boy, I just don't see it. I think Ohio State's going to win this one. And besides, let's say Michigan does win, all right? They'll have 2 losses, and they have a decent argument with the win over Ohio State. But with Texas winning last night against Texas Tech and in convincing fashion, with the SEC bias of ESPN and all their influence right now with the College Football Playoff Committee. And if you don't think that they don't have any influence, your head's in the sand. I think Texas is going to leapfrog Michigan, a 2-loss Michigan team, should they win. Should they win. I know it's a big if, but should Michigan win, I think Texas is going to have a legit argument. And with the East Coast or the SEC bias and ESPN's influence, I think that Texas will make it to the playoff over Michigan should that scenario happen. And here's another one that I want to kind of throw at you here. Let's say Texas Tech loses and Oregon wins today. All right. Could there be a possibility of 3 Big Ten teams getting first-round byes? Would the committee dare do that? I don't think they would. Again, the SEC bias and the ESPN influence would not let that happen. You can't tell me this committee would not be influenced on that. But that would be fun to see Oregon, Indiana, and Ohio State, should they all win today, in the top 4 going into the first round of the college football playoff. Should Texas Tech lose? Let's keep that in mind. This is turning into what everybody wants. They want chaos. They want parity, whatever. But this is going to be interesting with this committee coming up in the next 2 weeks. Should everything go to chalk this weekend, and then potentially with the conference championship games coming up next week. So, yeah, crazy. And now you've got Texas Tech They look like they could get a first round bye. Will the ESPN honks and the SEC honks allow that? Would they want to lobby maybe for Ole Miss to leapfrog Texas Tech into the top 4 to prevent anything like that from happening? We'll have to keep an eye on that. It is going to be so much fun to watch in the next 10 days in the world of college football. Speaking of the world of college football, here we go. The drama, the so-called drama with Lane Kiffin. Is he going to go to LSU? Is he going to stay at Ole Miss? Is he going to go to Florida? What really kind of chafes me a little bit is all of a sudden now we have to feel sorry for Lane Kiffin because maybe Ole Miss is making him make his decision because they want to know what's going on. Lane Kiffin brings all of this on himself. And besides, what has he ever won of consequence anyways? He hasn't won a national title. He got fired at USC. He got fired as a coach in the NFL. He carpetbagged out of Tennessee to get those opportunities. This is him. He brings all this on himself. I don't feel sorry for him. Hey, if he's going to go to LSU, would you be surprised if he went? Not me. He loves all this attention. Don't let him kid you. That's his MO. I don't feel sorry for him. I think what he's doing is a disservice to college football, but that's the way it is right now anyways. You can go wherever you want, whenever you want. And so for those that on social media that are feeling sorry for Lane Kiffin, give me a break. He hasn't won anything of consequence. Yeah, he might go to the playoff this year. Are they going to win it all? No way. No way. So give me a break. Give it a rest with the Lane Kiffin, the pity party for Lane Kiffin. I think he should stay, but we'll see. His history, he'll take the money and run. I guarantee it. All right. Now let's change it. One more college football game tonight. Consequence here in the state of Michigan. Who would have thought with the role that Michigan State's been on in a negative way, they're a 4-point favorite tonight at Ford Field. With the impending snowstorm coming in, who knows what the over-under is going to be for the attendance tonight at Ford Field for this one. I got to say it might be 20 to 25,000 people, maybe 30,000 at Ford Field tonight. It's a tough way to go for Michigan State fans. You know, they get this. East Lansing loses a home game. I know the weather's going to be crappy, so hindsight, it probably is a good idea to play it in Ford Field. Here's my question. Is this going to be the last game as head coach at Michigan State for Jonathan Smith? Michigan State, believe it or not, is a 4-point favorite in this game tonight at Ford Field against Maryland. Michigan State tends to cover against the spread. That's been Jonathan Smith's MO. But can they win one for him, which could be his going out party at Michigan State? I know there's a lot of people here in East Lansing that want him gone. We'll wait and see. That buyout's going to play heavily in the decision in East Lansing. If a decision is made, it'll probably be made in the next 48 hours. But Michigan State, a 4-point favorite coming into tonight's game, 7 o'clock at Ford Field. It's going to be a lot of snow in the area. We'll see how many people actually do show up for this one at Ford Field coming up tonight. But is this the last game as head coach for Jonathan Smith? And finally, who has the biggest shot at getting upset today? This is the poll question, which is on the Captain Lou Extravaganza Facebook page and, of course, on X at The Real Captain Lou. Who's got the biggest shot at losing as an upset loss tonight? Is it going to be Alabama? Is it going to be Oregon? How about Tennessee? How about Ohio State against Michigan? Could Oregon possibly lose at Washington? Throw another monkey wrench in the standings in college football in the playoff? Or is Michigan State the biggest chance of losing? They are a 4-point favorite, by the way. So that would be an upset. Go to the Captain Lou Extravaganza Facebook page or go to X at The Real Captain Lou. Make your answer there. We'll go over the totals tomorrow. We'll talk about it on an extravagant few minutes there. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit of NFL, that and more right here on an extravagant few minutes on the Captain Lou Sports Network. Hi, everybody. Captain Lou here. Hey, is there a ball game you want to go to last minute? How about the Spartans at Spartan Stadium? Go to the Big House to watch the Wolverines. Is there an NFL game you want to go to? Lambeau Field, Ford Field, wherever, Baltimore. How about the Tigers for the pennant drive? Well, go to SeatGeek. Get those tickets there. Use the promo code Captain Lou right on the screen, and you'll get $20 off of your purchase. It's that simple. So go to the Spartan game. Go to the Big House. But use the promo code Captain Lou at SeatGeek, and you'll be all set. That's right. If there's a game you want to go to this weekend yet, the Iron Bowl, Alabama and Auburn, Oregon and Washington, USC and UCLA. Or if you want to go down to Ford Field to watch Michigan State and Maryland, there even is time to get tickets for Michigan and Ohio State. Go to SeatGeek. Use the promo code Captain Lou. Get $20 off of your purchase. All right. It is time to talk a little NFL football. The Lions, yeah, they're in a little bit of trouble. I'm not, got to give Green Bay their flowers. They made the big plays when they had to. A lot of it came down to fourth down execution. The Packers rolled the dice, 2 fourth down plays for touchdowns. Although we'll go maybe that second one a little dicey with that timeout call that was gift wrapped to Green Bay. But I'm not blaming the Lions' loss on that fourth down so-called timeout. Even though it weighed heavily, Detroit couldn't make the plays when they had to. And, they got dominated on the line of scrimmage, let's face it, especially with their defensive line, getting no pressure on Jordan Love. Green Bay deserved the win. They're 8-3-1. Now the Lions are 7-5. We've got some question marks. We talked about it a little bit earlier. They've got a huge matchup coming up this coming Thursday night against the Dallas Cowboys in Detroit. It's on Prime, probably one of the biggest Thursday night games that a lot of people won't see because it is on Prime Video, and a lot of people don't have it. They won't sign up for it. So this has got all the makings of a play-in game between these two teams. All of a sudden, Dallas now 6-5-1. They need to win. Detroit, of course, 7-5. They need to win because they go to Los Angeles in 10 days after that against probably the best team right now, playing the best in the NFL, that being the Los Angeles Rams. And then after that, they would be 8-6, and Detroit would have to win at least 2 out of those 3 to have any chance of possibly going to the NFL playoffs. The division, I think Detroit's chances of winning the division now are slim to none, but they could still get a shot at a wild card game. And then after that, who knows? But it all starts with this Thursday. This is a must win for the Lions. They have to beat the Cowboys on Thursday night. And the way the Cowboys played against Kansas City, all of a sudden they've got all kinds of momentum. They're starting to think that they can do it. They can make a run. Can Detroit stop that Dallas offense that all of a sudden is woken up? We'll have to wait and see Thursday. I think it's going to be a dynamite matchup. That's for sure. How about the Bears last night or yesterday afternoon against Philadelphia? All of a sudden now, hey, I got to admit, maybe I was wrong on the Bears. And they're 9-3. Winning on the road against Philadelphia is something the Lions couldn't do. All of a sudden, Ben Johnson and the Bears are looking legit. They did get it gift wrapped a little bit, although it was still 3 minutes to go in the game, with the Eagles going for it, down 9, going for a 2-point play. I don't get it. We're going to talk about that in a second. But wow, I just don't get that. They obviously didn't get it. They lost 24-15. Kansas City, they're in a little bit of trouble too. We talked about Dallas winning Thursday night. What a big win for them. Kansas City now 6-6. They're pretty much going to have to win out with all the tiebreak scenarios that they're faced with in the AFC. But wow, what a big win for the Cowboys. Kansas City looking human now. They're in a little bit of trouble. They could still potentially go 4-1 and get to 10-7. If they do that, they'll probably sneak in as a 7 seed. But they've got a lot of tiebreaker scenarios that they have to overcome. They're going to need more help at getting in than maybe the Lions would at 10-7 in the NFC, because there's just so many more teams jumbled around there in the AFC. But all of a sudden, they're looking very beatable. Not the Kansas City team that we're used to seeing. They've had a heck of a run, though, have the Chiefs. They're not dead yet, but they've had a heck of a run. All right, let's go back to this. Tell me again. You got to sell me again on how analytics was a smart play in the Lions game, and especially in the Eagles game yesterday against the Bears. The Bears are up 9. The Eagles scored, the Bears are up 15. Okay, the Eagles score a touchdown with 3 minutes and change to go, and they cut the lead to 9. They go for 2. Tell me again why you don't kick the extra point and make it a 1-score game. You've got momentum, you've got confidence, you get the ball back, you go down and score, then you go for 2 with a chance to tie. They missed the 2-point play. Now they're down 2 scores still, and they have to kick an onside kick. In a world now where you have to announce that you're kicking the onside kick, to the opposite team. How is that the smart play? How is analytics smart in this instance? And that's just like the Lions with their constant going for two or going forward on fourth down. Again, I ask myself and I ask you, why would you go for two, down 9 with 3 minutes and change left to go in the game? Why did the Eagles do it? They miss it. They're still down 2 scores. They got to kick an onside kick, announcing it to the Bears because that's the NFL rule. Why are the Lions constantly going for it on fourth down where they could have kicked the field goal and made it a 1-score game? Now, I love the guts. I love the moxie for going for it on fourth down. You live by the sword, though. You die by the sword. That mentality's out the window. Detroit has missed it the last 7 straight times. And the Eagles still were down 2 scores. This way, they kick the extra point. It's the mentality. You're only down 1. You stop them. You don't have to kick the onside kick. I just don't get it. There's no argument in my mind that says going for it, going for the 2-point play with the opportunity there to make it a 1-score game. You miss it, you're down 2. The game's over. Let's face it. I must be missing something here. I guess that's why I didn't go to MIT and sit in those rooms thinking about all the percentages. I just don't understand. And I just don't understand the people on social media that say it was the smart choice to go for 2. I know a lot of Eagles fans right now are arguing that it isn't. So who knows? All right. Well, hey, that's going to about do it here for another extravagant few minutes. I want to thank everybody for welcoming us into your homes, on your computers, on your laptops, your iPhones, however you watched us around the world here on the Captain Lou Sports Network. Enjoy the college football games this weekend. Today is going to be the big one, obviously, Michigan and Ohio State down in Ann Arbor. You know who I'm rooting for, obviously. My heart says Michigan. My head says Buckeyes, and I hate to do it, but I think the streak is going to be over at 4. But enjoy the games, the Iron Bowl, Oregon, Washington, whatever game you want to watch, multiple games, Michigan State and Maryland. And for those of you in the state of Michigan that are going to those games today, be safe driving, especially later on today if you're going down to Detroit to watch Michigan State and Maryland with the big snowstorm coming here in lower Michigan. Be safe. We want to have you back watching more episodes here on the network. All right, everybody. Captain Lou saying keep your heads up, keep your sticks down, keep your feet moving, and as always, keep your minds open. So long.